Hello, third grade friends and adults alike. This is Miss Marshall coming at you with our third lesson on time. This is the lesson for April 8th, 2020, Wednesday. So sit back, get some pencil and paper out if you want to work along with me as we go over two problems about time. All right, but real quick, let's go over our anchor chart super duper real quick. We've gone over it twice before, but let's go over it one more time, just for good measure. So, remember we have two types of clocks, an analog clock and a digital clock. The digital clock we're all used to, we can tell time super easy. The analog clock, remember we have two hands. My short hand tells me the hour, my longer hand tells me the minute. So right now it is 3 o'clock on this clock. And some important things to remember, there are 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 24 hours in a day. Those are all important things to remember. That is why we go over it every single day. All right. Quick reminder of stuff we went over on Monday. If it's 30 minutes past the hour, it is also known as half past the hour. If it is 15 minutes past the hour, we say quarter past the hour. So if it's 3:15, we then say quarter past 3 o'clock. And if the minute hand is at the 45th minute, we say a quarter to the next hour. So say it's 3:45. We would then say it's a quarter to 4 because 4 is my next hour. All right, so as we have my examples down here, if it's 7:45, I say it's a quarter to 8 or 15 minutes to 8. Or if it's 8:15, I say a quarter past 8 or 15 minutes after 8. So there's my quick review over my anchor chart. Now before we get into my problems, we've been, the past couple days solving problems using my big interactive clock, right? This is a beautiful tool to have. Makes life easier to understand and work a lot better. But we might not always have this clock available. So let us then talk about a new way how I can help solve these time word problems if I don't have a clock with me that I can use. All right, so let's look at my first problem. Zoom back out a little bit. So, my first problem is about Miss Diaz. It says Miss Diaz was making cookies. She spent 18 minutes making the cookie dough, 28 minutes portioning out the cookie dough onto baking sheets, and 45 minutes baking the cookies. How much time did Mrs. Diaz spend making cookies? Well, there's two ways we can go about solving this. I'm going to show you one new way, and then the second way I'm going to show you might look a little familiar. But my first new way that we're going to do it is an old classic favorite of you guys. We're going to use an open number line. Woo, I know how much you guys love a number line if I can spell it with this pen. We're going to use an open number line to solve this problem. And you're probably thinking, but Miss Marshall, how can I use an open number line to help solve time? That doesn't make sense. Guess what? It will help make it to where we can visually see the problem as we go on without using a clock. All right? It's a little bit better of a tool to use. So, let's make my number line. Let's see if I can make a straight line. Can I make one? Ooh, I can. Boop, boop. Put that there. So there is my number line. Can I move it? Nope. Whatever. It'll be all right. So, I have my open number line. So, how do we set it up? How can I set up this number line? Because I have no idea where to start, where it ends, what's going on. I have no idea. But let's see. When it comes to these problems, the best thing that you always want to start with is you're starting at 0. Because did this give us a time that she started baking cookies? It didn't, did it? It did not give me a time to be like, she started baking at 12:30. So it didn't tell me that. So I'm just going to start at 0 because I've got to figure out how much time it took. So I'm going to start my number line at 0. So we've set it up. Now I got to figure out, what am I going to put on here? Let's first go back to our problem. Let's see. She spent 18 minutes making the cookie dough. She spent another 28 minutes portioning it out. and 45 minutes baking. Because I don't know the total amount of time she spent. So we know I'm using 18 minutes, 28 minutes, and 45 minutes, right? Put minutes at the end. Minutes. All right. So for my number line, let's start with my biggest number. All right. So what is the longest amount of time she spent doing something? 45 minutes, right? She spent 45 minutes baking cookies. So let's go ahead. I started at 0 minutes. Let's jump ahead 45 minutes. Woo, 45. So this is going to be plus 45 minutes. So I can check that off my list. I have done 45 minutes. Now, what do you think I should maybe add next? Let's think about it. Let's make it easy. What's one of my key things that I have to remember from my anchor chart? What's one of my key things? How many minutes are in an hour? 60, right? So how many more minutes do I need to jump to get to 60? If I'm already at 45. I need to jump 15 minutes, right? Well, couldn't I break down this 18 minutes and decompose it into something? What could I decompose the 18 minutes to make this super friendly and easy? Could I decompose it into 15 minutes and 3 minutes? I could. That would make my life really a lot easier. Because 15 plus 3 is 18. It's still the 18 minutes. But I'm going to make my life easy and jump 15 minutes. So I know that it's been 1 hour so far. Because right now it has been 1 hour. So I've done my 15 minutes. Boom. So now what do I have to add? Let's think. What would make it easier? Would adding 3 minutes and then 28 minutes make it easier? Or would adding 28 minutes and then 3 more minutes make it easier? Adding 28 minutes would make it a lot easier. Because if I add 28 minutes, make it a little bit bigger of a jump. If I had 28 minutes, how much time has passed now? 1 hour and 28 minutes, right? That's simple enough. So I've got my 28 minutes. Taking care of that, taking care of that. Now what do I have left to add? I have my 3 more minutes. So let's do a little baby hump for 3 more minutes. So if I add 3 more minutes to 1 hour and 28 minutes, how long has Miss Diaz spent making cookies? 1 hour and, I put hour, and how many minutes? 31 minutes. Right? So that's how we can use an open number line to kind of break down a lot of our minutes that it's going to give us. Because it's, like I said, you could add all the minutes together, but the answer is not going to be set in minutes. If I added all the minutes together, if I added 18 plus 28 plus 45, I would get 91 minutes. But that's not what going to be the answer what the answer is. The answer is going to be said in 1 hour and 31 minutes. So that's why we use this open number line to kind of make it a little bit easier to visualize our problem solving. Because like I said, the second way I could have solved it was adding 18 plus 28 plus 45, and that equals 91 minutes. Well, if it's 91 minutes, how many minutes are in an hour? 60. So I could subtract 60 and know that I have 31 minutes left. And then say that it is 1 hour and 31 minutes. That's the other way I could have solved it. But I love this open number line because it gives us the visual of what we're doing and how we're solving it. So let's do one more problem real quick that I've made. Erase this beautiful work. Erase, 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 erase. All right. So let me go to my next problem real quick. Boop, it's about the rock. So it says the rock was working out. He spent 37 minutes running on the treadmill, 52 minutes lifting weights, and 17 minutes stretching. How much time did the rock spend exercising? So let's make my open number line. Since it does not tell me a time to start it, what am I going to start with? Just 0. So let's see what we got to do. He spent 37 minutes on the treadmill, 52 minutes lifting weights, and 17 minutes stretching. So I know I have 37 minutes, 52 minutes, and 17 minutes that I've got to put together to find out how long the rock was exercising. So what should I do first if I'm starting at 0? Let's go ahead and add the 52 minutes. Let's do that big jump because I like to do those big jumps first. So let's do 52 minutes. So now, if I start at 0, 0 plus 52 is what? 52, right? So right now he has spent 52 minutes exercising. But remember, I'm getting real close to that 60 mark, right? I'm at 52. What happens when I get to 60 minutes? What does it then become? Becomes 1 hour. So I've taken care of 52. What do you think I could decompose to make to 60? What do I need to add to get to 60? To get to 1 hour? I need to add 8 minutes, right? Well, let's see here. Let's decompose our 17. That makes life easy. Into 8 minutes and 9 minutes. Got a 9. There we go. So I'm going to add those 8 minutes from my 17 to then get my hour. So now what else do I have left? I'm at a clean, pretty number of 1 hour. What do I need to add next? Let's add that 37. Because then I'll be at 1 hour and how many minutes? 37, right? So I'm now at 1 hour and 37 minutes. Check that off. I've done my 37 minutes. Now what else do I have to add? I have one more thing. How many more minutes do I have left to add? I have my 9 minutes still. So let's add those 9 minutes. Ooh, a little bit of a baby jump. 9 minutes. If I add 9 minutes to 1 hour and 37 minutes, how much time has passed now? It's still 1 hour, but 1 hour and how many minutes? It is 1 hour and 46 minutes. Right? Because if I jump 52 minutes and I decompose that 17 into 8 and 9, I could jump 8 more minutes to 1 hour, jump 37, and then jump that remaining 9 to get 1 hour and 46 minutes. Or my other way to solve it, I could have added all of my numbers up. I could have added 37 plus 52 plus 17, and I would have gotten 106 minutes, right? So if I add 37 plus 17, I get 54. And if I had 54 plus 52, I get 106. I could then subtract 60 for the hour. 6 minus 0 is 6. I can't take 6 tens away from 0, so I regroup. I now have 10 tens. And then I have 4, and I have 46 minutes left of that hour I've taken away. But I love my open number line because it makes it so much easier. All right, so we're kind of trying to move away from using the clock to, add all of our time together, and we're going to go to our open number line to make it super friendly. All right, so that's it for today for our word problems to solve. What I have next for us is a brain pop video real quick with a Papa joke, hard quiz, and belly up. All right, so stick around. Watch my next video with Brain Pop and go do my 2 assignments. All right, so far you've done your problem of the day, you've done my lesson, next is Brain Pop. After those 3 videos, go do my 2 assignments. Go do my math review and my Google Slides. Once you finish all of that, you're done for the day. All right? So keep at it. Let's go to Brain Pop real quick.